Thousands on the streets of Hong Kong as riot police struggle to break up democracy protests. Thousands of protesters amassing in Hong Kong's financial district in an attempt to shut down the city. They're demanding the chief executive consider their demands for voting rights in the 2017 election. Reporter Sarah Clark sent this report from Hong Kong.
This part of Hong Kong should be bustling right now with commuters coming to work at the beginning of the working week, but instead it's in lockdown. Thousands of students continue to mass around the central part of the city, with the standoff between police and protesters continuing for another day. Police used tear gas on the demonstrators last night, but that failed to disperse the crowd. The students are unarmed and are defiant in their protest against the Chinese government's refusal to allow a fully democratic election in 2017. Now, the government had hoped to clear the mass demonstration this morning, but main roadways are still blocked, and those roadways are the ones that enter into the heart of Hong Kong's CBD.
Right now, we're trying to stop Hong Kong from functioning, and this is why we're still here. Basically, we want to. This is the busiest spot in Hong Kong. It's like the central of Hong Kong, and we want to talk to the government.
Schools in the central area have also been closed as thousands more students are gathering at universities around Hong Kong. This is the first time so many people have joined the civil disobedience movement in Hong Kong. With the city now in lockdown, it promises to be another long week for protesters.
Riot police in Hong Kong have fired volleys of tear gas and carried out baton charges to disperse pro-democracy protesters. It's the worst unrest in the former British colony since China took control 17 years ago.
They call their movement Occupy Central with Love and Peace. This is Hong Kong Central, but there wasn't much love or peace. Riot police on the front line, but behind the smoke, an angry Beijing. They've been planning this for months. Supplies to fuel a sit-in that has no end date. They were ready for the tear gas.
We won't go home. We won't. Not only me, all right here won't go home until we have victory at last.
But there'll be no victory if the police have their way.
Why do you need to use tear gas? They're a peaceful crowd. Why do you need to use tear gas?
The more the tear gas, the more the defiance. Tens of thousands outside government headquarters. Police go on strike, they shouted. Lay down your weapons. We have no fear, he chants. Protect the people.
A few minutes ago, the tear gas canisters were going off here, and there's still a sting in the throat and in the eyes. But right now, an uneasy standoff between the riot police and the crowd. The only thing I would say is that the crowd seems to be getting, if anything, bigger and angrier. They're stretched all the way in that direction, thousands, and up the street there, on the cross streets and up on the walkways. No sign here that they are heeding the government appeal to go home.
In mainland China, police don't put up with scenes like this. But Beijing has promised to respect Hong Kong's way of life. And that makes them the only Chinese citizens with freedom of speech.
If we miss this chance to fight for ourselves, I think Hong Kong will have no future. That's why we are here.
It feels like a dangerous moment. Who's in charge? The Communist Party, which expects to choreograph all the political drama? Or the demonstrators, who found a common voice and now intend to define their own destiny?